Welcome, my friend, to the third episode of the Director's Treatment Masterclass, in which I am going to teach you the most important skill that you can master as a filmmaker, and that is selling your creative vision and ideas to clients using director treatments. Now, in the first episode, I introduce you to the world of treatments and why it's so important to master this aspect of the job, because it is essentially the key to getting the job. And in the second episode, I explained the right mindset for creating treatments and how you need to approach the pitch with a business mindset instead of an artist mindset. Because when you approach it as a business mindset, you understand that you're not just presenting an idea, but you are pitching a solution to someone's problem, so they are willing to give you their money. And in the third episode, we are going to dive a little deeper into, when you are pitching a solution to a problem, how do you really find the real problem that is hidden under the surface, and how do you frame your solution in a way that the client believes that this is the thing that that they are looking for? So without further ado, let's dive into my computer and dive into the third chapter. So we are inside my computer, chapter 3, problems and solutions. So once again, a quick recap. So to win the pitch, you need a business approach. So to win the pitch as a work-for-hire filmmaker, you have to move away from the idea that you slowly work as an artist and start taking a business approach. This means that instead of making art, focus on how your service can solve someone's problem in exchange for money. So if you just approach filmmaking as a hobby, my friend, just don't take any advice of this course, because it won't align. But if you want to move away from being a hobbyist and actually making a living as a work-for-hire filmmaker, then you need a business mindset instead of an artist mindset. And if you don't, you'll end up in a loop of the same old thinking, getting the same old results. So when it comes to pitching and treatments, so these are not just digital documents for pitching cool ideas to clients. They are visual presentations that present a solution to a client's problem. So it's not just a cool design. An architect doesn't just present a cool design for a house. They filter all your input of your dream house and then present you with an idea that facilitates all the necessities that you want that house to do for you. So if it's very important for you to have a very light house because you have a very sensitive mood, and they present you with a dark house, then you'll be like, this doesn't really align with what I had in mind. So I sort of decline this architect's design. But when somebody knows that you are very sensitive to mood swings and they can come up with design features that make sure that you're always in a good mood, then you'll be like, didn't think about that. I like what you designed. Let's go ahead with you as my problem solver instead of just someone who has created a cool design. So you have to flip the script. Successful businesses exist because they solve someone's problems in return for money. Therefore, you must understand that clients need your service more than you need them. Your goal is to show them why what you have to offer will be valuable to them. So as I explained in the previous chapter as well, I struggled with this for a very long time because I was very needy. I needed the job, and I was basically willing to sell my soul to get the job. But what I didn't understand was that clients actually needed me. They needed me to solve their problem, because if they would have been able to solve it themselves, they wouldn't have asked me to pitch an idea. So it is the same for the doctor. So when you go to the doctor, you have a problem, and the doctor it would be very weird if the doctor was like, yeah, but you need to take this and this and this. You'd be like, my friend, this is not what I came for. I want you to solve my problem, and don't be such a needy doctor in need for money. So here is what we are going to cover in this chapter. So I'm first going to talk about the illusion of selling. Then I'm going to talk about more or less like a little framework that you can use for sales. Then I'm going to dive deeper into problem diagnosing, because if the goal of the business is money in by solving other people's problems so they can give you their money, you first need to understand what is the problem that they are facing. And I'm going to dive deeper in this episode on how to diagnose someone's problem so you can present a good solution. I'm going to provide you with a sales blueprint for selling ideas via directed treatments, and a quick summary at the end. So if you want to get access to all the secret stuff I don't share anywhere else, make sure to sign up to my newsletter, robinpere.com/newsletter, because here is where I share all the secret stuff. Make sure to subscribe, like, you know the drill, follow. For exclusive content, @robinpere is the handle. And a quick warning though, this is the most important video of the entire course. So if you haven't watched the first and the second video before watching this one, I highly recommend you do. I'll put a link somewhere here in the description and somewhere up there for you to watch the episodes. And I highly recommend you do, because it is like a logical steps in which I've built this course. So watch it from beginning to end without skipping any parts. And a little pro tip, if you want to save yourself some time, watch it in double speed. So first off, the illusion of selling, because selling is a nasty word in the creative world, just because the perception that most people have with selling is this sleazy carsman that is forcing you all kinds of stuff that you don't want. And because a lot of people have this image, they more or less approach sales the same way, which is really not necessary. So a fake belief when it comes to pitching and selling an idea to a client. I always believed that the most original or unique idea won. I always thought it was the people who drank coffee with each other, went to the same agency party, had a common friend, or were referred by someone they knew, were the ones who were chosen. That is not true. If you are being chosen because you just went to the same agency party or have a common friend, then you are just chosen because you are the convenient choice, not because you are the best problem solver. And many see sales as something negative. However, true sales is about presenting solutions to problems. If you can solve a client's problem with what you have to offer, you don't need to be a slick salesperson. You simply have to understand the problem, show how your solution can solve it, or decide that you can't help them solve it. Because that is also an outcome. When you go to the doctor and the doctor says, I can't help you with this, you need to go to the other specialist, then that is also an outcome. And then you still feel like the doctor helped you into the right direction. So it works the same for filmmaking. If a client comes to you and they want to create a animation commercial, and your specialty is directing music videos with live action and dancing, etc., then it is probably not a good idea to do the animation stuff as well and just say, well, this is not my cup of tea. I highly recommend you work with this person, which I've known for a while, and he's a legend in animation music videos. So this is essentially what sales is all about. You just, someone comes to you with a problem, and the goal is to discover what this problem is, look at what you are doing, and see if you can help them solve their problem. That is what sales is. It doesn't have to be like a sleazy salesperson. So like I mentioned, it all comes down to need fulfillment. At its core, sales is about helping others achieve what they want, not just about getting what you want. You can't force someone to buy something they don't want. However, you can guide them towards a solution that they may not have considered before. So when I started pitching ideas, I always presented them with something which I thought was a better idea than what was on the table. Or when a creative agency came with a brief to me, I sometimes just completely modified it. And of course, that didn't solve their problem, so I never heard from them again. So yeah, it all comes down to fulfilling a need. What does the other person want? What is their problem? How can you solve it? If you can't solve it, that's also an outcome. And you just move on to the next one. And don't be the needy director that really needs the job and tries to sell their soul. Because if you go down that path, it is always going to be a headache. Or at least what I experienced is that usually when I did so, it became a headache project. And it was not really a pleasant experience for both client and me. And we never really worked. I never got hired again. So how do we approach sales the right way? What is the thing to master sales? So the thing with mastering sales is we need to sell a solution. With solution selling, you don't just talk about your product or service. Instead, you listen to the customer's needs, discover their problem before providing a solution. It's like chatting with a doctor so that they can understand what's wrong with you before prescribing a solution. So instead of what might be easier if you don't really get along with the idea of having a business mindset, then a doctor's mindset is a very, very good alternative, because a doctor can only do his job right when he offer you a solution when they ask you a lot of questions and to really discover what it is that is causing the pain in your body, and before they prescribe a solution. And I think this is what I did wrong for a very long time, is I just listened or interpreted the brief without asking questions. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so here's what I can do for you, which was like them saying, I have pain in my arm. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's amputate your leg. So yeah, I would have lost my doctor's license for sure. But that is not the way. That is not the way forward. So if you want to have a thriving career, your business, which is you, your business is you as the only employee, the CEO, has to convince other people to give you their money. You do that by solving their problem, and to be able to solve their problem, you need to ask them questions like a doctor to understand what it is that they really want. Why do they want this commercial? Why have they asked you to come up with an idea for this pitch? Why do they want your vision on this? And usually when you ask a lot of questions, everything will become so much more easier. So you have to do problem diagnosing. So before you can fix a problem, you must first know what is causing the problem. It's like a doctor figuring out what's making you sick before giving you medicine. Otherwise, you're pitching the wrong treatment to people who are not sick. So you need a doctor's mindset. When you think like a doctor, you stop trying to sell something and start talking about what your client needs. Think of yourself as a problem solver, not a salesperson. This way you're still selling, but you're doing it by showing that you understand your client's problems and have the right solution for them. So the secret thing here is to really, really care about helping the other person, not helping yourself, not fulfilling your creative needs, not adding this cool brand to your portfolio or having a check because you need to pay the rent, etc., because that will all backfire you at further down the line. The thing is, you need to be able to really, really want to help this other person, give them what they want. And if you cannot give them what they want, that is also an outcome. But that is still in the best interest of them. Like saying, okay, I understand what you want. Is this what you really want? If so, then I am not the right person to help you achieve this goal. And they will be happily say, okay, that's very honest of you. And they might ask you for recommendations or not. That will be so much better than committing yourself to a project. By pitching for it, you will lose time. Like I once read this quote, which means no means next opportunity. And I think that is so applicable in this case as well. So you need, the people are somewhere and they want to get somewhere. So they come into the doctor's office, say, I have this pain here and I want to get better. Clients come in, artists, they want to reach a wider audience online, and a music video is a tool to do that. And it is your job to find a way to help them achieve that goal. And music brands or creative agencies might want to bring a very cool campaign to life. They don't know how to do that, so they come to you to ask for your expert insights on how to help them achieve their goals. So the thing is, articulate the bridge and win the pitch. That is the that is the golden rule here. So help people get to from where they are right now to somewhere in the future. And if you can help them articulate the bridge, then win the pitch. So if we translate this to another field of work, people are overweight, they want to get in shape, they don't know how to do that. So the personal trainer will present them, pitch them a workout schedule or nutrition diet or whatever. Or people are in financial trouble. They want to have a flourishing financial situation. So they go to a financial planner who will present them a financial structure or a plan to get out of their financial current situation into a desired future situation. Works the same for filmmaking. So in order to present a solution, we first need to drill down on the problem itself. So we need to diagnose what actually is the thing that is causing the problem. So problem diagnosing. Means to an end. People don't pay you for your filmmaking services or the video you create, but for the outcome that these things, so the video or the film, provide. Brands don't want a commercial, they want to sell more products. Artists don't want music videos, they want to reach more people through their music. TV stations don't want a new TV show, they want more viewers so they can make more money with advertisements. Netflix doesn't want great content, they want more subscribers. So everything comes down to business. And the thing you create helps the other business make more money. That is business. That is what it is. This is why the artist mindset does not work in a commercial sense when it comes to pitching ideas. So questions. Just like a doctor asks questions to pinpoint the cause of a problem, your role is to diagnose your client's problem. This involves investing time in asking a series of open-ended questions, a process that may feel awkward at times, but is crucial for your client's success. So, yeah, we live in a time where everybody is so self-centered that asking a lot of questions sometimes might feel a bit awkward, but is so necessary, because otherwise you'll be the doctor. You just walk into the doctor's office and they just don't ask you anything, and you just present them, okay, take this medicine, and they will feel like you completely, that you don't want to help them. So yeah, it works the same for filmmaking. You need to diagnose what the problem is. Why do they want this thing? Why do they want the commercial, the music video, the documentary, the film? Why do they want this thing? It's the same for the crew as well. So imagine that you got chosen as the director. Then you have to be able to tell the crew why you want this thing. Why do you want the lighting to be this way? Why do you want this? Why do you want that? The why is so important. And if you can answer the why with, well, you know, the audience is it's a younger audience. They care about, I want to, me and the creative agency have agreed on the idea of using a lot of vibrant colors, and to make the vibrant colors pop so that the audience of this commercial can relate to this project, the lighting has to be very bright. And then the person responsible for the lighting will be like, okay, let me help you with this. So everything boils down to discovering the why by asking a lot of questions. Why does this problem need to be solved? Why do you want a commercial? How can I help you with this? And this is all done via a discovery call. Now, you will have a client call at the beginning of every competitive pitch. Not every competitive pitch, by the way, but I will dive into that in a minute. So the goal of this call is to discover what the problem is and if you can help them solve it, if you can help solve the problem. If you can't help them, that's also an outcome. So you need to see this call as going to the doctor and explaining and see the client as the patient and asking them questions. Okay, how can I help you? Discover if you can help them or not. So if you receive the brief, you can ask them, for example, can I ask you a few questions to better understand what you want and how I can help you? I would love to get to the bottom of this so we both feel happy about having worked together at the end. Would that be okay for you? Now, I know that, there are these competitive pitches, especially on digital platforms nowadays, where they just say, well, this is the product, we want a commercial director, pitch your ID. In this case, it is very hard. But then, I'll dive into this a little bit later in this presentation. But in that case, it is more difficult to pinpoint a problem. But, those pitches, hundreds of people present IDs to those pitches. So you have to ask yourself as well, are you willing to go down that rabbit hole and invest the time and effort to pitch for such a project? Because it is very hard. You're basically just guessing and throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that this will be the solution that they are looking for. If you don't know what their problem is, why do they really want this project come to life? So the goal of asking all these questions is to discover the why. To sell your solution successfully, you need to figure out why your clients want to solve their problem. Why do they want this commercial? Why do they want this music video? Why do they want this commercial documentary? If you can discover the why, the how becomes easy. So just as I explained a minute ago about the funky colors for the crew. So if you can explain to if you can discover the why, so let's say the artist wants to, or for a commercial, for commercial. So let's say a brand has developed a new 0.0 commercial, 0.0 beer, and they want to reach a younger audience, so they start buying their alcoholic beers further down the line when they grow older. So then the goal is to reach that specific target audience, and the beer bottle, let's say it is funky yellow color, and they want to have this sort of candy vibe commercial to make sure that the audience resonates with that beer bottle. I don't know if this is actually legal, but just to give you an idea. And then you can go to the art director and say, well, the goal of this commercial is to reach that target audience, and therefore the inspiration is candy. So what can we do to come up with an environment within the film studio to emphasize on this candy so that the target audience relates to the beer bottle? So the why is so important. Why do you want to get better? Is it just because you feel pain, or is it because you want to travel to the other side of the world because you haven't seen your family who lives over there for a very long time? And to do that, you need to be able to walk. See, there are layers to this. So instead of just me going to a handyman saying, hey, can you put a nail in my wall? And then he'll be like, okay, but why? And then I'll be like, yeah, but I don't have the tool. And then you're like, okay, I have the tool. But why do you want the nail on the wall? Yeah, okay, I want to put a painting there. Okay, but why is that important? Yeah, because tomorrow I actually have a dinner and I have a painting of a very famous artist and I want to impress my friends. So we go from a nail in the wall to impressing people, which is completely different. So discover the why, and then when you understand the why, the how becomes easy. When the art director understands that the goal of this commercial is to engage with a young audience, then they can come up with an how for how to create a film set that facilitates their goal. And of course, when you ask a lot of questions, you want to examine as fast as possible, because the wrong client can be a total pain in the ass. So be skeptical about whether or not you want to work with them. If they want something you cannot do, you want to know this as quickly as possible. It's better to deal with the decision now or pay for it later. So, yeah, you want to eliminate. It's basically like filtering. Like, are we a good relationship? Is this going to work between us? Are you interested in the same things as we? Just like a normal date, which is basically the same. It is also like asking questions. Are we a match? Or it works exactly the same for discovering if you can help someone solve their problem. Because not all clients are suitable for the business. Not every patient is right for the right doctor. If they want to have plastic surgery, you don't go to someone who operates knees, right? So you want to examine as fast as possible so you can point them in the right direction. That is the whole goal. Now, you might have come across some great tips on how to listen, like taking notes, nodding, making eye contact, and repeating what you've heard. But let's simplify things. The best way to show you're paying attention is to genuinely pay attention. Because if you are genuinely interested in helping someone solve their problem, there is not much that you need to do just to show them you're interested. If you're genuinely interested, then, the conversation will flow naturally. And I think that is very important, to genuinely be interested in helping the other person, and have just like a normal human conversation, and not just writing notes to show them that you're taking notes and not actually paying attention, because they will sense it. And at the end, you want to recap everything, because assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups. When you're finished questioning, you need to reconfirm everything being said to ensure you understand the problem correctly. For a client, nothing is worse than receiving a treatment where the sender failed to understand the problem. For them, it will feel like they wasted their time taking the meetings, or that the sender didn't care enough to grasp what they needed. It is like the doctor who has asked you all these questions and like summarizes at the end, then reconfirms it with you to make sure that they understand that this is the thing that needs to be solved. And you need to do the same, because otherwise you're just assuming that this is the thing that they want. They just don't want a commercial. They want something else. And you need to figure out what it is so you can provide the right solution. What also really helps in this questioning is expert insights. So what do you see from your angle that they probably haven't seen? What is causing the real problem? Valuable insights viewed from Valuable insights viewed, I think it should be seen through your expert's eye. Sorry for that. But if you let's say the client wants to shoot a commercial in an old factory, and that's something that they really, really want, and then you'll be like, but have you taken into consideration that old factories are not really available here? So then we probably have to move to Belgium, or for example, if you're shooting from the Netherlands or from Germany, and then you probably have to go to another country, and then that will involve extra costs. Is that something that you are willing to spend? Is it that important? And then they'll be like, okay, yeah, we didn't know about that. And then you might say, well, because it's an old building, we need to have extra safety regulations and people on board to make sure that nobody gets hurt, because otherwise it is going to be a very expensive insurance claim. Is that something that you would be okay with to move forward with? And then be like, okay, maybe this is not a good idea. So in that sense, you show them that you have experience with this type of project, and they feel more comfortable with you as the expert, because you know the risks that are involved and have their best interests in mind in helping them solve their problem and get them what they want. So expert insights are very, very important. Now, it can happen that you don't have the opportunity for a discovery call. So sometimes your client might think that the conversation isn't necessary. If that happens, you can explain that you really want to help them get the outcome that they are looking for, and therefore need to understand better how you can help them. So it is like them saying, I am sick, I want to get better, but I don't want to go to the doctor. The doctor has just magically need to pull the trigger and come up with a solution for my problem, which is, of course, very hard for the doctor to do. And it works the same for filmmaking. So they can present you with a creative brief, like, this is what we want. Can you help us? Yes or no? And then the goal is to get on a call with the people, to get to know them better, to get a sense of what they are looking for, how are their characters, are they people that you can actually help or not? And if they don't feel like a discovery call is necessary, then you might say something like, I know you're busy and I'm ready to create a beautiful project for you, but without the instructions, I'll have to guess what you want. If we can take a little time now to go over the instructions together, I can make sure I can give you exactly what you want, saving us both time and money. Because if you just pitch something and are not sure that this is actually the thing that they are looking for, then you are wasting a lot of time and energy, which is something you want to avoid as much as possible. They have to invest time and money, or at least time, to read your document. And if you pitch something that doesn't align with what they are looking for, then they might feel, what, this person doesn't really understand what we want. So why bother to contact him again in the future? So be genuinely interested in helping them get what they want. Get on a call. If they don't want to, you can decide. It's totally up to you. Where do you want to pursue this opportunity? If you need the money, you can take the risk. But I would suggest that to think it over one more time. Now, this comes down to unsolicited pitching, which I also have disclosed in the second chapter of this course. But if you don't have the opportunity for a call and you still want to pitch a cool idea for someone, then the goal is to look at their business model. If you're doing an unsolicited pitch, you have to approach problem diagnosing differently by presenting a great opportunity to enhance the other person's business model. This means you'll have to do some extra homework, dig into the business model of the business you're pitching for, and figure out how your idea makes business sense for your client. So at the end of the day, we are all running businesses. The goal of a business is money in. So if you can help them accelerate the money in or give the money in a push, then there is a clear return on the other person's investments. So they invest $10K or $1,000 or $100,000 or $1 million into what you have to offer, with the idea of making a larger return on that investment. Just like you probably don't just buy crypto because you like the coin and because somebody pitched it to you as a beautiful project that has never been done before, but because you want to invest $1,000 and make a 10x or even 1,000x if you're really lucky further down the line. And it works the same for all the other businesses. So a sales blueprint. Risk reduction. Everything in sales revolves around risk reduction. Clients want to eliminate the risk of losing their money or their jobs when giving you their money. So when artists give you their money for a music video, they want to make sure that if they invest in the music video, they don't get screwed and the video ends up somewhere in a internet corner and doesn't get them the outcome they are looking for. Or when the creative agency awards you the job, they want to make sure that you deliver what they want, so their client gets what they want. And this all comes down to confidence. Confidence is a deciding factor for clients when choosing who to work with. Your pitch should be designed to instill 3 elements that build confidence in the client's mind and win their trust. So, what is a business? A business is money in. How do you get money in? By solving other people's problems. How do you solve a problem? By first diagnosing what the problem is before you prescribe them with a solution. And then when you present them a solution using a treatment, your pitch needs to include 3 essential ingredients to instill confidence in the client's mind that when they give you their money, they won't lose their job or they won't lose their money, but they actually get the outcome that they are looking for so they can make a return on their investment. This is the whole goal and the sort of where are we now? And so the 3 things are, the first one is trust. You need to convey trust that you are an expert. This is important, expert in solving their particular problem. So not just a filmmaking expert, no, a very specific expert at solving their problem. When you have to undergo a knee surgery, you want to go to the best expert for knee surgeries and not just some guy who does it all. When a water pipe bursts, you can contact someone who does a bit of everything, but you highly likely want to have the best available plumber at that moment to make sure that the problem does not get any bigger in the future and they just fix something which causes more problems in the long run. So trust is very, very, very important. The next one is belief. Your client needs to believe that your solution will get them the outcome that they want. And finally, you need proof to show that you have solved the exact same problem before. The knee surgeon is only trustworthy when they have a track record and have been doing this for X many years. This is why you don't want to be operated by a trainee, right? You want to have somebody who has done this for 20 plus years, because then you know this guy is the real deal, and the solution that he has presented to me during the problem diagnosing or after the problem diagnosing is something I believe will get me the outcome that they are looking for, and therefore I trust this person. Works the same for filmmaking. So 3 essential ingredients that your pitch needs in order to make the sale. So the first one, let's dive a little bit deeper so you better understand how this translates to filmmaking as well, because that might sound a little bit vague. So first one, trust. So trust. Imagine you go to a doctor because you're not feeling well and they prescribe medicine right away without asking about your symptoms. Would you trust that? They are the right expert for solving your problem. Probably not, right? So it works the same for filmmaking. If you go into a client call, you don't ask any questions, you don't take the effort of diagnosing what their problem is. Why do they want a commercial? Why do they want a music video? Why should they on board with my project? Why would they trust you? So, questions. The doctor's recommendation can only be trusted if they genuinely want to help you. To do that and earn your trust, it is important that the doctor asks many open questions to fully understand your problem. The more you feel understood, the more you trust and believe the doctor's recommendation for solving your problems. And this also includes sharing expert insights that show that you have walked the path before. You know the risks of taking that direction or that direction. So you ask them specific questions and share insights. Have you thought about this? Just like an architect, if you say, well, I want all the walls of my exterior house, all the exterior walls of my house white, then the architect might say, okay, well, the rest of the neighborhood doesn't have this, so there might be implications with requiring all the council improvements. And then you'll be like, okay, I haven't thought about this, but this person seemingly has experience with applying for the paperwork to get the government, the council improvements. So, those are signals that you want to convey when you are asking open-ended questions with the client. So they can trust you as the expert. This is the important thing. They need to trust that you are an expert at solving a specific problem that they are facing. And then belief. So if the doctor asked you a lot of questions about the pain in your arm, but then told you they needed to cut off your leg to fix it, would you believe them? Probably not. A client has to believe that what you're offering them will get them the results they are looking for. So belief comes down to you are the expert problem solver, and then based on your experience, you need to present them a solution so they believe that will get them the outcome they are looking for. So a clear path. To create belief, you need to show your client a clear plan for how your solution can solve their problem and achieve the desired outcome. Now, some false belief as well. Some people believe they must like you in order to work with you, but that is not true. People don't have to like you to hire you. You don't need to be friends. You don't have to go to the same agency parties and all that bullshit. They need to know that you deliver results. That's all they care about at the end of the day. If they also like you, that's a bonus. So, of course, when you like someone and you have to work on a film project for many months to come, then liking to work with somebody is a bonus. But I have stood on film sets with people I didn't like, but I just knew that they did a good job. And It works the same, you know, when your pipe bursts in your bathroom and everything is underwater, I don't need to like the plumber. He just needs to solve the problem. And I don't see how that is any different compared to the film industry. And then proof. So imagine the doctor shows you examples of patients they have successfully treated for the same issue. This proof helps you trust and believe the doctor can help you. Just as clients need evidence, client results, reviews, testimonials, case studies that you've successfully tackled similar projects before. The more relevant proof you have, the easier it will be to convince them that working with you is a low-risk, high-reward decision. Now, the key word here is relevant proof, because when you are pitching for a commercial, all the documentaries that you have made are not relevant to the commercial unless you have solved a problem that is very specifically related or similar to the project that you are pitching for right now. So when I go to the doctor or if I go do some plastic surgery, I don't really care about all the knee operations if I want to have fillers in my face, right? But if the doctor shows me 3,000 before and after pictures of people that they have done facelifts on or Botox stuff, then I'd be like, okay, this guy has done it before. He solved my problem before. He has asked a lot of questions. I believe that he is the one that can get me the outcome that I am looking for. So the goal of the proof is you want your clients to look at your proof and say, these clients are just like me. They had very similar challenges to me, and therefore I feel very comfortable that this person will serve me well and help me solve my problem. So this is why clients are always looking for similar projects within your portfolio. And this is why it's so important not to build a portfolio that just shows you can solve a shitload of problems, because then people don't really know why they should contact you. But if you have a very specific style or a very specific problem or a very if you only do one specific kind of work, then it is very obvious that you are the expert to go to. People will be willing to pay good money for that as well. So when it comes to proof, you have to realize that the projects in your portfolio are assets that will continue to deliver value long after the time you have spent building them. Publish your projects on your portfolio website and document your work via photos and behind-the-scenes videos. Now, this is something that I have done throughout my career as well. As every time we did a project, I made sure that there was somebody there with a photo camera. I paid for them myself most of the time. Or with a video camera to make a behind-the-scenes video, because all this data is yours and it is proof to show to future clients that you are capable of handling film sets on which problems are being solved for other clients just like them. So it is so important that, for example, show reels. What does a show reel tell? It shows that you can create beautiful images. But if there is no specific goal of unity within the pictures that you create, then clients will look at it and think, okay, yeah, this looks good. But if you can incorporate behind the scenes material and show how you've made those images come to life and how the images that you have created have solved what did they help your clients achieve, then everything becomes so much more relatable for them. And a show will be so much more than just beautiful images cut together. So, quick summary of this third chapter of the course. So sales is solution selling. Instead of presenting how you would make a beautiful film nobody has ever seen using tools nobody has ever used, present a solution that solves the client's deeper motivation for solving the problem. The biggest challenge is to uncover that deeper motivation. So a business is money in. You are a business with one employee, which is you, the CEO. All the activity in your business should be related to money in today, tomorrow, in the future, whatever. and you get money in by solving other people's problems. How do you solve a problem? By first diagnosing what the problem is so you can sell the solution. And the best way to approach this, I believe, is to diagnose like a doctor. To solve someone's problem, you first have to discover what is causing it and why it needs to be solved. You do so by asking lots of open-ended questions. Discover the why, and the how becomes easy. If you know what the project has to do for the other person, you can... The how becomes so much easier. If you know that the music video has to be created because the artist wants to reach a specific demographic, then you can figure out, okay, so what triggers this demographic and how can we create something that aligns with what that demographic wants. Why does the brand want a commercial, and how can I frame my idea in a way that the brand believes that this is going to get them what they are after? That is basically what it is. Now, in your treatment, you have to convince the client, you have to convey one essential element, and that is confidence, because everything in sales revolves around risk reduction. Nobody wants to lose their money. Nobody wants to lose their job. And that to do that, you need to convey confidence. So to successfully sell a solution, you need to instill confidence in the buyer that you will deliver the results that they are looking for. This confidence is built by conveying three things: trust, belief, and proof. They need to trust you as an expert to solve their problem and believe that your solution will get them the results they are looking for, backed up by proof that you have solved this problem before. So how are we going to translate this into a treatment? That's something for the next chapter, in which I will show you how to actually do this. How do you build trust, belief, and proof in a treatment? How do you do this text-wise? How do you do this visually-wise? How do you do this structure-wise? But yeah, if you can convey to the client that they will not be screwed with what you have to offer because you have listened to them, you have found out that this is the thing that they are looking for, you have reconfirmed with them, is this the thing that you are looking for? And then present them with the solution after sharing expert insights, like, okay, if you want this, have you taken into account that it might result in this, or etc. And then present yourself as, you know, I've done this before, you can trust me, I'm an expert at solving this problem. When you hand me the money, you'll be safe, you'll be in good hands. This is the solution that I have in mind. So believe me when I am going to say, if we take these steps, this is the outcome that you can get, and I can back it up by proof because I have solved this kind of problem many times over for clients just like you. Now, to summarize this episode with a beautiful quote: people don't buy from you because they understand what you sell, they buy from you because they feel understood. If you diagnose a problem right and present them with a solution that actually sells their problem, after you show genuine interest and you are genuinely interested in helping them solve their problems, they will feel understood and they will feel like, I am in good hands. This person has best interests in me and helping me get the outcome that I am looking for. And that is why they buy. They just don't buy because they understand that you can create a cool commercial. No, they buy because that cool commercial solves their problem. That is good for them. That will get them an ROI, a return on their investment in time and money. So, yeah, that was it. The third chapter. A lot of great new insights, problems and solutions. I hope there was another nugget of knowledge gold in there for you. Something that might help you get to the next stage. As I have said many times already, I am not a filmmaking guru. You don't have to agree with everything that I'm sharing. But if there is one thing in here, one thing in this course that will get you that would help you win the next pitch, so you can make the next project, and that project will bring in the next project because the clients who see that project like what you have done for others, then one thing will lead to the next. And everything resonated from something that you have learned within this course. So yeah, next chapters are going to be diving more into how are we going to combine all this input, all this problem diagnosing approach, the problem diagnosing approach, and building confidence within a pitch in more detail. And yeah, we'll dive into that in later chapters. So that's it for now. I hope you've learned something again, and see you in the next one.